So I asked one of Tauranga's most hardcore players in this game for a list of things that they would like to see out of a Rocket Takeover information video. They've caught well over 600,000 Pokemon and beat over 10,000 grunts. Here's one Queen's list of things that you need to know for the current Rocket Takeover event. The Team Go Rocket part of the Crown Clash event has just started. Well, as of midnight, but we've just woken up. And my very first balloon is Cliff, who is now giving Gibble. And because Gibble's now in the leader pool, it can be shiny. Oh, this one's nice and easy to take down. Mega Lucario is still proving an excellent option for Cliff's lineup. So first shiny check on Gibble is not a shiny. So being a Rocket Takeover event, it comes with the usual bonuses as well as all of the Rocket leaders changing the mons that you can encounter. Cliff obviously gets Gibble. Sierra now has Trapinch, and winning against an Arlo will give you a Horsey. But there's also one other pretty big change that I know a lot of people will be looking forward to, so we'll get into that shortly. So first up, the Crown Clash event goes till Sunday night at 8 PM. So we have until now and then to be able to tear more frustration from all of our Shadow Pokemon. Next on the list, she has how often do the balloons show up? So far we've seen them every 2 hours, so 6, 8, 10, 12, you get it. That's the first one. Taking a look at number 2, how frequent are the grunts in the wild? And already we can see here, looking around Tauranga CBD, you can see a bunch of darkened stops, which are the grunts. At a quick estimation, you can see 4 out of the 8 stops that you can see there, so 50%. And naturally, for any of those stops that aren't grunts, they could potentially be rocket leaders. Doesn't seem to be too many of those around. And for anything that's not grunts or leaders, could potentially be a Giovanni or a Giovanni's decoy. So there's definitely a lot more around. Okay, so the takeover event does integrate with the Crown Clash event that's currently running, which has Litleo as a boosted shiny. It's been going for a few days now, and this is my very first one, so it doesn't feel that boosted to me. But I've seen some players get like 3 or 4 by now, which is insane. And with any luck, this might be the male. It isn't. The male is going to be the harder one to find. I think there's like a 1 in 11 chance of getting a male.
I got one shiny.
Oh, you?
Yeah.
Of course she did. So with that being said, how the Rocket event's integrating into the primary event, in terms of wild spawns, it doesn't feel like much has changed at all. The primary difference is going to be 1 in the grunts, the amount of grunts that you see, and 2, the changes to the field research tasks. If you've been hunting Win 2 raids for the last few days trying to get that shiny and shiny Nido King and Nido Queen, some of those tasks are going to now be replaced with purify 3 shadow Pokemon for a TM. I'll assume that's charged. I'm not going to complete that. And defeat a Team Go Rocket Grunt for a rocket component. So if you don't know already, there's currently no way to be able to stack rocket radars for free in Pokemon Go unless you pay for them. The only other way that you can stack them is by completing these tasks. So if you're able to stack 3 component tasks, do 1 grunt, you can build a whole new rocket radar, stack it on top of another, completing 2 grunts at a time. So it's not a bad little one to chase. As part of her list, she thinks it'll be a good idea to let us know what the shiny eligible Pokemon from grunts are going to be. So this one's fighting type, and it can give us a Machop. At least that's what's in the first slot, Girder in the second. Shinies from grunts have a lower shiny rate compared to doing them from leaders or even raids. So hopefully this is Machop and it isn't shiny. Pineco is in the bug type grunts, which can be shiny, followed by Anorith, which can also be shiny. So we just happen to have one after the other in the same grunt. So this one could be Pineco. Another shiny eligible grunt. This is Marwile from the cute type grunt. But of course there's always going to be that chance that you get the second Pokemon in the lineup, so hopefully this is going to be it. Please be Marwile. This one here is a Dragon Grunt. Bagon's still in the rotation, and it is, yeah, no shiny again. Okay, another shiny eligible grunt for this rotation. We have Gligar, which is showing up in the ground types. No. Bug type grunts. We have Scyther, and this one is not shiny. We have Routes from the psychic types. Yeah, no shiny again. Tentacle, poison type. Another shiny potential from poison grunts. Scorpy. I'm gonna get that Nidorino encounter, aren't I? Let's see. Yeah, no shiny. This one from the grass type grunts. Seedot. Magnemites, this one. Electric type grunts. And with any luck, this one is it. No shiny. So we have 4 new Pokemon added to the grunt lineups. These specifically are going to be Slackoth from the normal grunt. You'll find Inkay in the psychic grunt. Tyrant potentially in the dragon or rock, and Amora might be either in the rock or the ice grunt. So they're the new ones for the Shadow decks. So the biggest change by far, starting from this event, Shadow Raids can now be hit with remote passes. But not only can we do Shadow Raids with remotes, Niantic Copley have also increased the remote limit to 10 raids per day. So we're going to try it out on this Lapras. It's a shiny that I still need, and I guess at least a good way to show that remote raids are working.
Someone's doing that, Lapras.
That's me.
Oh, is that you?
So yeah, you can invite your friends as normal. That's working also. And I'll be honest, I'm not even sure if I can even beat this. I've never done a T3 Shadow Lapras raid before. They can be quite tough. Important, dodge the Hydro Pump. Lapras is enraged. Things slow down quite considerably at that point. Ooh, you definitely want to dodge Hydro Pump with a Terrakion. For every tier level it takes 8 gems to subdue Lapras, so if you're going to solo one, it pays not to use them. You're just wasting them. But this one's subdued already. We're at 17, 15, just over 10 seconds to go and we're almost done. Okay, Lapras solo finished. But is it shiny? No. But that's cool though. The other thing to mention with raids during this event is during the Rocket Takeover there's a difference in the IV floor. And I believe, if I'm wrong, I'll put it on the screen, but I believe it might even be possible to catch a 000. So they've done it like this so that you can have a chance at potentially getting a PvP IV for any of the Shadow Raid Pokemon. It may be 111. This one's a 13-113. So yeah, could be 1, could be 0. I don't know. I'll figure it out and put it on the screen. Okay, so for this takeover event, Giovanni gets a new Pokemon. The legendary Dialga comes to, well, Shadow eligibility, and this is the way that you get it. The Crown Clash taken over timed research. This one's for free. There's also a premium option as well that you can buy from the web store, $5 US, $9 New Zealand, and we'll talk a bit about that. We'll get to it. But I'm just claiming page 1 now. We get a combi encounter. So we'll make our way through this and see how good my Dialga is going to be at the end. Shiny check on Gibble. Oh, no, not for me. This is shiny check Horsey from Arlo. And no shiny. Okay, shiny check on a Trapinch. And that was the last leader I needed for the Giovanni research. No, not this time. Okay, so now we've completed page 3, which is the next step to getting Giovanni and that Shadow Dialga. We claim Stardust, the Super Rocket Radar, which is what you want, and XP. Now we need to find a Team Go Rocket boss battle and defeat him. So there's 2 ways that you can encounter him. You can either use the Rocket Radar to check around if there's going to be any stops with the black R like that, which has the potential to be a Giovanni, or it could be a decoy Grunt. But the easiest way to get him is just to wait for the next rocket balloon that comes around. As long as you have that Super Rocket Radar equipped, that's going to be a Giovanni in the balloon, so you can either go to him or let him come to you. We've chosen to come to him. I know this is Giovanni on a stop because she already checked earlier, but this will tick off the next thing on her list. The best counters to use against Giovanni, and depending what he has in his second slot, I'm not entirely sure, but for now this is the team that I'm going to go in with, and I'm going to be putting pretty much putting all my faith into Mega Lucario once again. So, the reason I like to use Mega Lucario is because it has access to Power Up Punch, which is really good for burning off the first shields. Giovanni is always going to have pressure in its number 1 slot, and then we know it has Dialga at the end, which is a Steel and Fighting type. Oh, Kangaskhan in the second slot, so that's helpful as well. This will burn the second shield. It actually is one of the easier lineups, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's hitting hard. But Lucario's still hanging in there. And then Dialga in the last slot. Cool, we got to an Aura Sphere. Lucario for the win. Okay, and that's our Giovanni down. Okay, so time to see if our IVs are any good. This one's at 883. First ball catch. And the IVs are 13, 14, 6. Not bad. Ah, of course. And it's taken me this long, but I've finally beaten Giovanni for the 20th time. It's taken a few years to do that. So now we get to complete page 4 or 5. and see what that encounter is. Dusted XP and an encounter with Pawnyard. Oh, okay. Okay, and page 5 is an autocomplete. Okay, now to answer her question around the event ticket and whether or not it's going to be worth it, she's already gone through and completed the entire research line, and through 2 pages she got 2 encounters with a Combi, 2 Litleo, 2 Slowpoke, which are the shiny boosted mons from the current event, a couple of Pawnyards, a Nido King and a Nido Queen. On top of all that, a Super Rocket Raider, so you get another chance at a Dialga. All of that costs $5 US or $9 in New Zealand, and quite frankly, if you ask me, not worth it, knowing that eventually, especially Dialga, is going to be coming to raids. And then again, even later on with the shiny potential. So, I mean, quite purely for that reason, I haven't bought the ticket myself. This game really does have enough tickets. Now, did you know that the fastest and easiest way to tear away frustration was by using search strings? If you were to go into your Pokemon bag and search up at frustration, it'll show you currently all of the shadow Pokemon that you have in your bag with frustration. You can then define that search by putting and 3-star. It shows everything in the bag with frustration, that's a 3-star. I like to put comma, 4-star, just in case you have any perfects in the bag that you might not be aware of. And then I'll also add comma, favorite. And what favorite does is pulls out everything in the bag that one has frustration and you've tagged it as a favorite, or just given it a star. So in order for me to be able to TM frustration all of these Pokemon the easiest way possible, what I need to do is go to my item bag, scroll down to my charge TMs. I want to put in that exact same search string. You can see on the left side there I have 230 charge TMs, and we know that there's 210 mons here that I potentially want to TM frustration away from. But quite simply, I'm going to click on a mon. The game will ask me if I want to teach Squirtle a new charge attack. I hit yes again to confirm, and Squirtle's learned the new move. I can do the same again for Wartortle, Caterpie, Weedle, and this is literally the fastest way to do it. Now obviously I'm just doing this as an example, so I'm just going through and getting rid of frustration on everything on this current search term. But for yourself in particular, that search term might look a little bit different. You may want to just search at frustration and Machop, but that works out a lot faster than going to the normal Pokebag, entering the same search term and then clicking on an individual mon, going to the item storage, scrolling down to the charge TM, and then forgetting frustration that way. And according to this list, that about covers everything we feel like you need to know. There's one bonus, because news showed up on the Go Hub this morning that apparently there's a surprise shiny. Shiny Salandit is now live in Pokemon Go, and it's still in the 12k egg pool. And actually, there's the other change. Both Larvitar and Pawnyard have been removed from the 12k egg pool, so shiny potentials are now reduced to Sandile, Vullaby, Pancham and Salandit. So probably be prepared to hatch a lot of Shroodle and Varoom, because that's just how this game goes. So for now, that's going to wrap up our breakdown of the event. So many shiny potentials from the grunts, and there's probably some that I've missed. Good luck for your shiny hunt on the leaders. If anyone gets a shiny Salandit, I'll be keen to hear. Let me know down below, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one.